Hi guys, I'm back filming another video. I will say these next three videos are going to be filmed in my pajamas because it's 4 a.m. And it is the only time I have to film, so we're just going to roll with it. But it's my relaxing day, so I'm not changing out my pajamas for anyone, so we're filming in pajamas. We're just going to get that out of the way. However, today I'm going to be filming my Owls wrap up. Now this is not the wrap up for the month because I have listened / read a lot this month. However, I read the 6 books that I needed for my career and then the extra one for Dragon Tamer. So we're gonna just talk about those books today. So I'm going to start off with the physical books that I read for my career, which was a ministry worker for the Department of the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures. So, obviously, Dragon Tamer fits into there, which is amazing. And I did Magizoologist last year. So, the owls that I needed were Charms, Defense Against the Dark Arts, History of Magic, Potions, Transfiguration, and Care of Magical Creatures. If you're wondering, I am looking at my journal as I do this. So, for the physical books that I read this month, because I've been listening to a lot of audio whilst I've been at work, so I've been flying through audiobooks. For the physical books that I read, the first one was for Transfiguration, and that was Clockwork Prince. I say this was physical, this was an audiobook that I read, but I have the physical copy to show you, so we're going to roll with that. I'm just going to have to flick backwards and forwards in my thing, which I didn't even think about. I gave this 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed this. I did think there was less action in this than there is in the first one, but hey-ho. If you don't know, this is about Shadowhunters, and it's set in the past. This is like a historical fantasy. This is kind of before this series. I can't remember the name of the series, but it's that one. And in here we follow Tessa, Gray, Jem, all of those, and Will, I think, and Will. Maybe Will. Will Herondale, I think. Or is that Jem? Possibly. I'm blanking on everything at the moment. My brain is like mush. But yeah, I did really, really enjoy this. It was an amazing read. So the other 2 physical books I picked up were Serpent and Dove. I rated this 4 stars. I think it's after all of this. Great. I read that many books. Where is it? Yes, I rated this 5 stars. I rated this 5 stars. This was amazing. I absolutely love this. The first, beginning, the first half of this book, where is my thing? This is, really slow, which, it's a fantasy book. You're getting to know the world, you're getting to know the characters, all of that. It's not a problem to me. I am used to reading a slow fantasy. The second half of this book is amazing. It's just pure, it's not pure action, it's kind of like pure angst with the 2 main characters. And yeah, the relationship in here I love. It's like a classic fantasy hate to love romance, and it's amazing. I don't understand why a lot of people hate this book. I mean, unless you don't like certain aspects of the book, which is fine. I'm not bashing anyone who does hate this book, but I absolutely love this. I will be continuing with, I think it's a trilogy. The next book comes out in September, which is really, really sad, but and that's mainly really, really sad because I'm back at university then, and I'll have even less time to read because I will be a third year and I will be starting my dissertation, so we will just cross that bridge when it comes to it. But this was possibly one of my favourite reads this month. There is like other classical ones that you would expect to be my favourite, but those aside, this is probably my favourite book this month. And yeah, I loved this. This was amazing. And I will actually talk about the actual book now. So this follows a witch and a witch hunter, and right at the beginning of the book, these two get bound together in marriage, and it's about them living together and him eventually finding out that she's a witch. They and dealing with that and realizing that it's not that big of a deal, and yeah, it is amazing. So essentially a witch and a witch hunter get married. The witch hunter doesn't know that he's married to a witch. I love this. It's amazing. There are two more physical books, but one of them was for Dragon Tamer. The other physical book that I read this month was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Oh, I didn't say what this was for. This was for Care of Magical Creatures, because there is, you probably cannot see it. Oh, you can just, a dove on the cover. Therefore there is a bee on the cover. It's a very dark cover and I'm in a very dark room. We're going with what we can get. So I read Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. This was for History of Magic, because there is witches and wizards in here, which is obviously amazing. This also could have fit for this prompt, but I needed Care of Magical Creatures, so here we are. I loved this book. It was amazing. This is another one that I have the physical copy of, but I listened to the audiobook. I actually only physically read 2 books of this TBR, which is kind of sad, but hey ho. I really enjoyed this book. This is a book that you would expect someone like me to like. I am an amazing Harry Potter fan. This I obviously gave 5 stars. And all of my notes in here in my journal just say, it's Harry Potter, it's amazing. How can you not love Harry Potter? So obviously this is the 3rd book. Oh my god, blanking on everything. It says it on the actual cover. This is the 3rd book, and this is the book with the night bus, which is an amazing invention. I love this thing. So yeah, I can't remember what I was gonna say. So this is everything. This is him learning how to make Patronuses, and hence the cover. And this is the one revolving around Sirius Black. And Sirius Black is probably one of my favourite characters out of the series, just because he's so caring, and he just steps up to the role of caring for Harry like immediately, and I love that so much. And yeah, I love Sirius so much, and it's amazing. I love Harry Potter. Harry Potter is my life. Okay, so the other 3 books that I read, I did say that was for History of Magic, didn't I? I think so. The other books that the other 3 prompts are Charms, Defense Against the Dark Arts, and Potions. Those are the 3 that I don't have a physical copy of the book to show you. So for Charms, I listened to An Unkindness of Magicians. Now, I hated it. Hate is a strong word. I wasn't a fan of this book. Not that I can remember what happened in it. So I gave it 2 stars. Let me read my thing. Yeah, I vaguely remember what this is about. Vaguely. And it's very vague. I believe we follow... Nope. I am blanking on everything. I can't even remember what my next one is about either, because I've read that many books this month. Like, this is why you don't read like nearly 20 books in a month, because I forget everything. Well, I remember the next one. It's this one. It just didn't stick with me. I said in here that I enjoy how the story was easy to follow. However, it was boring. Yeah. I think it's something to do with how magicians like trick each other or something. I'm just not having a good time with magicians at the minute, because I started listening to The Last Magician and I've DNF'd it. So books with magicians and just don't work for me at the moment. I might give this another go at some point. Maybe physically reading it might help. The same with The Last Magician, physically reading it might help. There are just some books that you can't use the audiobook for, and this just unfortunately is one of them. So yeah. Can't tell you what An Unkindness of Magicians is about, but I gave it 2 stars. It's not the best at all. Yeah, the other audiobook that I listened to for this was The Daughter of the Pirate King. I really enjoyed this book. Let me just find my rating. I gave this 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was I enjoyed the extremely strong female character. Normally in a fantasy book you will have the royal family as the main character, but it would be the prince that is the main character, and he is the fighter. He is the one that has grown up being taught how to fight, how to use a sword, and blah. But in this book it was kind of gender bent, because we had the princess of the Pirate King, obviously because it's the daughter of the Pirate King, and she is the one that has been trained to fight, but she's been trained to fight by the king. The king himself has trained her, and she has, in this book, she has this mission to, I think it's to get the map for something and then meet her dad, but in the process she gets captured, and you later find out that it was all her plan to get captured and everything. But from what I can remember, a romance blossoms in this, and it's amazing. And I know that a lot of people say the second book isn't the best, but I might listen to that on audio maybe next month, who knows. Yeah, I really enjoyed this book, and I thought it was really sweet, and I just liked the idea of the female character being the one who was not afraid to kill people, because normally in a fantasy book you get the female main character is the perspective you read from, but she is so scared of everything that like killing someone or killing something kind of like grosses them out, and they're a bit disgusted by it. But it's really different, and I enjoyed that. It was an amazing addition to this. Okay, the final book that I read for my owls was Binti. Now, this is another book I really didn't like. I think I know the reason though. I think it's because it was a short story, and short stories and me, we mix. But if it's a story like Binti, where it's about traveling to a different planet to go to university, and everything that happens on this spaceship happens in like the space of like 10 pages, and then the rest is just like her sitting in a room. Like, it was just, I think if the author had allowed more pages to be able to write this out in, she would have had a much better novel. And I mean, a lot of people absolutely loved this, but I really didn't, and I didn't because of the fact that we didn't have much information. We didn't have world building. We don't know anything about the characters other than Binti is she's black because she's from a tribe and she's black on the cover. There's obviously like race rep in here of like how people stare and things like that, but we don't really know much about her family and things, and if it was a bigger book then we would have got that development, because it would have been at the beginning, and we'd have got more about the spaceship, we'd have got more about who the bad guys are in the book, and more about what the university is that she's going to, and all of that. We would have had such a more fleshed out and developed story, and everything that happens in this book, I can't really tell you a synopsis because I don't know what the synopsis is from the book, and I don't want to give away anything that happens in it. But like the middle of the book, it kind of like takes place in like a series of like 5-10 pages, and it's weird because she gets on the spaceship, and then the next thing you know, it's a few days later, I believe she'd made friends, and then everyone was killed. I don't know. But I feel like we needed some build up to this. Like all of a sudden these people just turn up, and then she's locked herself in her room for the majority of the time that is left to get to her university. My filming curve. I don't understand why, but I just didn't enjoy it. So, yeah. That is my owls. So, I completed all of that. However, I also did complete the Dragon Tamer like seminar extra thing, and for that I listened to Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This is probably one of my favourite books, and that is because of like the tournament that's in it, and then everything, and this is kind of where Voldemort starts to step in more, and where Voldemort is more a part of the story, if I remember rightly. Obviously Voldemort is in every book, because it's Harry Potter, that is how every book ends. However, this one is kind of where things start to go wrong for Harry in every book, because obviously at the end we have everything with like Cedric, and how he's transported to this place where Voldemort is, and Voldemort is rising, and this is shown right at the beginning of the book, and I really enjoyed this book. This book is like the best one in the series for me, and this is obviously for Dragon Tamer because there are dragons in here. This is the tournament one where they have the dragon egg. There's a dragon on the cover, so I dropped the book. So yes, I completed 7 books for the whole of the Owls, including the Dragon Tamer. I was hoping to finish them all, but I was just finding audiobooks that I could listen to at work that I was interested in, and not all of them fit for a prompt, which is kind of really annoying. I think my storage might be getting full because my camera keeps shutting off. So I'm gonna sign off here, and I'm gonna sort everything out, and then I will be hopefully back to film another video. If not, I'll try and find another time to film. Thank you guys.